61 degrees and still going hotter. How fun is that? Anyway, it's time for a bonus session of the Boarside Bunch. Because last time, Raider said he couldn't make it. And we'd kind of gotten into the middle of something. So instead, we're going back to a little place in the outskirts. But we're not actually going to Boarside this time. Instead, the quartet of them, a quartet of the adventurers, have been doing some more standard work. In fact, it's almost like they've only been given lighter duties. 3 of them specifically. After what they saw in Frest and experienced. Otto Gullcorn, Crisari, Dudley, and new person who they've probably shared all of 2 words with, have been doing a little caravan escorting. A little bit of just walking the roads in nice peaceful nature on very secure routes where nothing nasty or dark could actually lunge at them. In fact, this sort of region, actually, as I forget the fucking name of the town, even though I have it written down, back to the Boarside note.
Frest?
Well, no, Frest is gone.
Oh, right.
Prested, babe, Prested.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in this case, you're going to the town of Sloanhorn, which is a hell of a pleasant place. It's often been touted that the forests around it are really deeply protected. They're never specific on exactly what, but they have enough very shiny-looking horse statues and whatnot, and little wooden carvings of horns to imply that they at least think there might be a unicorn in the forest keeping things out. And you guys have just done your job, delivered supplies. Well, actually, you're taking on more because there's still so many of the few survivors of Frest in Boarside currently trying to scrabble out a living. You're in the tavern, as is usual. Feet up in some cases, feet not even touching the ground in others. It's just quiet. You've been... let's see. The merchant you traveled with, well, you've each gotten a couple of, like, about 10 silver coins apiece, just in case you fancy to drink yourself. And it is early midday. There is some incredibly out-of-tune music being played by someone who claims to be a musician. Mainly bongos and a flute.
Oh, God.
It's just generally a lot of... Well, there's a handful of labourers and some farmers being shy of the fields right now. Just hanging about chattering.
Well, I imagine Otter is probably feeling a bit better after the event.
Otta has not been feeling a bit better since the event.
Oh, no.
Otta has discovered that each night as he tries to sleep, he can't. He gets rested by laying on his back for a while with eyes open, but he cannot sleep. Otta has not been able to dream since the events.
Ooh.
Is Otter, like, is he, like, severely deprived, or is he not affected by it?
No, that's the thing. That's the worrying thing. You're well rested. You feel fine each morning, even though you know you just lay there staring at your ceiling. Like you do the whole sleep paralysis thing of there's a point where your brain decides not to move you anymore, but you're safe in your house. But there's no dream, there's no darkness.
So Otter is aware the whole night through.
Yes.
So is Chrysaris, he's a high elf, right?
Yes,
They don't sleep either, do they?
they trance.
They meditate for 4 hours.
So, Chrysari, how do you usually deal with, passing the night, not, the whole night sleeping?
It's usually an extensive meditation where I perform just general mental exercises, ponder over a few things, and then just drift on those thoughts.
Huh. Is there any way someone like me could learn something like that?
Quite probably. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. Probably pick up a good book and read through it and then just think about the story for a while.
Yeah, I pretty much emptied the entire book stack in my house, so
Have you tried
all
asking yourself a difficult question and trying to solve it?
it usually always ends up with Frest. Like,
No.
what if I never went there? What if I never drank that bottle?
Well, I suppose those would keep your mind busy for a while.
On the bright side, he's gotten halfway through 2 things to do with a potato.
Oh,
The first in the
picked up
series.
halfling. How long was this after Frest, by the way?
This has been about a month and a half or so.
I haven't slept for a solid month.
You guys have been just kid gloves the whole time. You have never been assigned to anything dangerous since. Anything that has a risk, it's not come up for you guys. You've not had the call to guard the town at night either. It's always been during daylight hours. Like, they've been gentle with you. They knew that when you guys came back from Frest that you needed time.
Have you tried magically induced sleep?
Well, no.
Could be something to look into.
Chew a little valerian root, swallow down some Xanax. So who is this mysterious darkness at the table with them, by the way? Because someone had to make a fresh character after very poor decision making.
No, it was the correct decision at the time. It just didn't make for a very long stand. That would be I can't talk today. Vitina Cordo. And she would just be a small, very paired human and relatively quiet.
Is
She
Ray
looks-
cutting out for anyone else?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
shit.
thankfully. She does look
Let me
very
see.
fancy, though.
Yeah.
Her token even has a cravat.
Well, that's because they're awesome. Well, shit.
She is a semi-recent arrival to Boarside. Probably only a matter of few weeks, but hey, everyone gets called to service. It's how they keep down the issue of people thinking they can just go out and adventure and getting murdered the fuck out of them. No. Have a bit of a try first. Do a little tour of duty, then you'll know if you can survive outdoors or not. Meanwhile, being useful to the town itself. Dudley, you have not found another string for your lute. Or banjo.
It does not matter to me. I'm trying to recreate that music.
Indeed, it doesn't matter to you. To everyone in earshot, it matters.
I take it Dudley has just been focused on the trying to recreate the music then?
The forbidden knowledge.
Then I guess it will be up to me to write my book.
Which was actually just, a song of yesteryear. Probably something that was just really annoyingly catchy.
Old gray mare, it just ain't what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Double checking. Is my mic suddenly not cutting out anymore?
Sounds about
Yes.
right, yeah?
Okay. Settings reset itself.
Yes, you've all, except one, been a little bit changed by your time in Frest. What a night. But nothing like that has come back, although there was that small little sort of panic when another group returned that's mentioned that, yeah, they met some of the meat scarecrows that have been wandering around. But they put them down. So it seems like really it's just lingering signs. It almost caused a riot, of course, but What can you do with a loudmouth cleric? And on that note with loud mouths, the tavern suddenly goes into disarray. The door swings open, and a man dressed mainly in pelts, furs, and a bit of streaking of mud staggers in. You're starting to notice through the grime there is splatters of blood coming from him. A few arrows lodged in his shoulder. He's just screaming about Silverhorn. He makes his way past you guys, because he has no idea who you are, towards the bar. People are starting to swarm in to surround him. In a friendly way, in a concerned way. As he starts roaring about how men have come into the forest, they're trying to kill the Protector.
Could I make a history check to see if I know anything of Silverhorn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would this be like local history?
It's sort of local history, but you study a little bit of it.
Alright, so should I make a roll?
Yeah.
Or would it be like common knowledge?
It's more of a history thing, because this is Sloan Hole, this is a bit far away from you guys.
Alright, I'll make a roll.
And it's about how much interest you take in the basic history of these places.
Oh, then that would probably be a disadvantage.
No. In this case, yeah. It doesn't come up a whole lot. They don't often bring up the name, but this guy obviously looks like someone more in tune with nature and such. Maybe they've had actual dealings with it. And Silverhorn does just sound like... It sounds like a pretentious pony name, so it's probably a unicorn.
Nah, I was about to say like some kind of overstuffed elk.
No, but Silverhorn is the local stripper.
The male stripper should be pointed out.
Yes. Silverhorns is his sister who also does it.
I thought she would have been Golden Tongs.
No, but men have lost eyes to her. But yes, he is roaring and wailing about these evil men that have come into the forest. They fought, he was almost killed, but Silverhorn managed to get away.
Huh.
But something is horribly wrong.
Mm.
He mentioned one of them fired an arrow at him. The head lodged in, and he just saw the creature weaken horribly. He says with pride, of course, through the, sluttering and getting a free drink, that it took everything he had to help Silverhorn get away. And the men are still there. It's about that point that people are starting to look a bit sheepish and sort of backing up a little bit of, it's the town's protector. It's an important thing and all, but I have a field to work on. The missus doesn't like me going out in the forest during the daylight. It sounds exciting and important, but it's a little bit unsafe. And I'm a father with 6 kids. I can't go getting involved in something like that. Think of the orphans I'd leave behind, because my wife would probably die of sadness too if I passed. Which means that their strain would go, the burden of my children would go on to my friends and relatives, and who wants that, really? I mean, that's just putting a negative into the productiveness of the town. There's a lot of those excuses floating around. Also, Krasari, yeah, Silverhorn, you've generally heard a lot of stories from this place of they have a unicorn protector, they have a massive forest that is generally free of monsters and evil, which is a nice place, but it also, of course, means you don't go walking in there, because that's its territory. You're pretty certain this is on the level? The fact that he's also bleeding profusely with several arrows lodged in him and a crossbow bolt says, yeah, he probably did see some evil men.
If only Fargrim were here.
Mm-hmm. Like, people have usually taken it as they're just boasting about the town, but you have studied and think there's enough connections here to say that, yeah, they do actually have a unicorn.
Well, Otto, Dudley, do you feel this is up for investigation?
I mean...
I don't suppose everyone at the table raises their hand here, like, hello.
There is a loud twang. I lost the last string.
Well, if we go do something good, maybe you'll earn some coin to buy another one.
There are no strings in this town.
Yeah, you got to get yourself over to
Just
Malden.
strings in the first place.
Well, I was on your journey, Studley, whenever you went to Maltron. They have a good sheep gut and cat gut industry.
Yes, let us go. We should go.
He really hasn't been the same since Frest.
The crowd is starting to part, so you can see this dude as, several people are peeling away to sip very guiltily at their drinks. One of them makes a token effort. He says, I'm going to inform the guard, and then he just sort of meanders out. Because the guards, you met them. Johansson and David. That's it. That's all this place has. They looked like they could maybe run about 10 feet after getting winded. Turns out the unicorn does a lot of work here. And they never picked up the slack.
Let's go forth. They may have a string. I need a string.
Well, I approached the man at the bar and... excuse me, sir. You mentioned that Silverhorn was in trouble?
Yes, please. He reaches out to try and grab you immediately. He's got dirty hands.
Yes.
As he grabs your upper arms and you can see smears of mud, filth, and blood going down the sleeves of your dress. Yes, please, you have to help. Please, anyone. You look like you have stuff, as he looks at the fact that you actually are carrying your gear.
Yes.
No one else is. No one else is a fucking pauper and a farmer. Please, you have to go help.
I was planning on it, as I brush away some of the dirt.
You flick away some fragments, but it's still stained deep in the cloth.
If you could give us general directions, we'll head out very shortly.
Oh, yes, of course. Follow me. As he accidentally twists his ankle. There's a whelp and a whimper, but he keeps trying to crawl out.
Otto runs over and tries to do his best as his size allows him to kind of help him up.
Yeah, he starts now shuffling along on his knees. But, it's not putting weight in his ankle, so it's good. As you just watch his ankle sort of bounce around and twist a little bit further.
Dudley looks down and casts Healing Word on him.
You might not want to do it.
Get up.
I'm just giving suggestion you might want to keep a hold of your healing spells. Just a little support might be all he needs.
Okay.
Just as the person who made the encounters notice, I'm suggesting maybe keep the healing spells. Plus, it's only a torn ankle. It's fine.
Yeah, he just needs to not put weight on it.
Yeah.
As I prestidigitate away the filth.
It takes a second casting. It's really in there. Because you've got very expensive fabrics, and man, that's just so common. But yeah, he manages to... It's a little bit annoying, Otta, as he brings his hand down on your shoulder. You start to feel yourself lean a bit. But he's pretty scrawny himself, and he is managed to support himself with one other leg. And I assume Dudley comes in to help as well.
Of course.
He's kind of using you two as, like, living handrails.
Come on, maybe you should just sit down for a little moment.
There's no time. They're still hunting him. And he needs us. He needs us as he wheels round and almost falls over again. As he yells at the people in the tavern who just sort of, yeah, I suppose he does, yeah.
I don't think you're in any condition to apply assistance. At least, not physical assistance.
I mean, no, I'm just going to show you where it is. Just out the door. And then he just points northwards. Where there's a little bit of a gap from a couple of fields, but then there is a great forest. It is dense. I don't know where he'd be hiding, though. He doesn't let, privacy and all that there. But the men, they were moving very quickly. They should leave all kinds of tracks.
Very good.
What kind of men were they?
Armed with bows, as he looks at the arrow sticking out of him. I didn't see any of them up close, though. They were shooting us from the tree line. We were just having a conversation. We were just chatting away, talking about what's going on. It's how the rival's coming, and then it all went to hell, and then they seemed hooded. They, I guess, were wearing armor.
Can I see one of the arrows sticking out of him? Kind of, if they're well-crafted arrows or kind of primitive made?
They look bog standard, to be honest. Not different from the ones you saw for sale in Boarside.
Oh dear.
They did shout and yell, and some I couldn't get it, but they didn't come close or anything. But I think they've seen me off now. He's weakened. It's terrible. They'll find him. They'll take his horn. They'll kill him.
We're going to solve the issue, no problem.
And you, with that history roll, of course, know, Krasari. It's said that the touch of a unicorn's horn can cure any disease or curse or ailment. Downside is they are finicky bastards and probably will never touch you. Although you do also know that the whole they only appear for virgin maiden things, utter bullshit.
Everyone knows that the unicorns themselves are absolute sluts.
Yes. But no, they'll appear
Or
to
is
anyone of a good noble nature who's a bit nature inclined, maybe. It doesn't have to be some fainting maiden. That's mainly the role of the sleazy romance novels. Or the very innocent tales. They're also a little bit snooty.
That's also bog standard.
They also tend to be kind of assholes.
I mean, snooty is just a nicer way of saying asshole.
True.
I don't know. Don't forget, this is a creature who is literally God's gift.
Yeah.
So they've got a right to have an ego.
Ah, so you mean elves.
Elves.
And yeah, he does not, of course, after you get a little bit out of the town, he doesn't follow. He just sort of leans against a fence and just a lot of wishings of luck and gushing of please save him, please help.
We will, but you need to go rest.
And behind him you can see this rotund figure of about 5'4", in armor that probably fit his dad and his granddad, and probably them together as well, but not him. And he's clattering and clanking along with a spear that looks like it's been sharpened once. In the distant past, maybe. It's David.
Do we know David?
He's one of the town guard.
Oh yeah, but like know him all
No.
stuff.
you,
Okay.
you just met him on the way in, but it looks like someone actually did tell him, and he is clattering along behind you guys. Then he stops. He leans over. There is some dry heaving. You can see him just grabbing at one of his sides for a bit, and there's a few tottering steps before he starts up again, and then that stops immediately. He's back to hunched over. Now he's holding both sides. There's a hissing noise. He's still quite a ways from the guy you helped. He hasn't even caught up to you guys yet. But he's just sort of there. And then there's a few more waddling, sort of wandering steps as he tries to get a bit closer.
I don't think he's going to be of very much help to us.
Yeah,
I'd almost say we just leave him, but he's trying so hard.
He's on his knees now.
why don't you look for Mr. Did we even get the druid's name?
Nope.
What did you say you cut out?
Nope. Like, he didn't give his name. He's just in a panic.
Yeah. Walk up to him. Hey there.
Which one do you walk
Okay.
up to? The druid or...
To David.
Don't worry, citizen. I'm on my way.
Why don't you look after the...
He's rolling
the
over onto his
gentleman
side
here?
now. His arms are around his sides.
Why don't you look for the gentleman over here who probably could use a heal? We'll check out and we'll report back.
As he turns his head, you get the sight of like tear-stained eyes behind the helmet, but also just really reddened face. Okay. Could you ask him to get closer?
Yeah, sorry, could you maybe move a little bit closer to him? I know you're in a lot of pain. I think there's a bigger chance you might be able to be able to get to him today than him getting to you.
Oh, right. All right. Yeah, sure. And you see him very slowly hobble, and it's just looking at, the weak and the crippled together at last.
Well, don't worry, we'll do our very best to solve the situation.
Please do. Ow. And so you set off, with nothing from the town weighing you down. It's only a few minutes on feet before you find something that's, you're past the tree line. There are signs of very hastily sort of trodden ground and whatnot. There's snap branches all over the place. There's a few, like, big scores along a few of the trees, but they look like they've been made by blades. A little bit further, you spot something of a clearing, but it's not empty. You can see about 5 gentlemen looking in rough leathers, hoods up, faces covered, several bows, a campfire going. They're just stirring the ashes a little bit.
Really? Did they camp here after they did that?
What was your question? You cut out a little bit.
Well, let me try to adjust my mic again. But so they've literally set up camp right after they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that was what my character said.
Well,
I
mean,
didn't.
Let's see. Get your tokens into the tavern so I can drag you guys over.
Okay.
I have no idea how to do that.
Just drag it off your sheet.
You click your name, hold it, and drag it to the map.
Man, why is this so lagged right now? Like, you guys moving around your tokens, it's fine, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very laggy for me right now. I'm gonna guess it's because I updated Firefox.
Oh.
Stop hiding under each other, for fuck's sake. I mean, I could have also done a smaller map, but it's handy to have a map that is all in one. So let's see. Let's put you guys down here.
So you're inspired by the it takes mega textures.
There we go. Now, obviously, you guys aren't this close, but I don't want to reveal even more of a map. But it's daytime, and of course they've got a light of a fire and all. They are just milling around for a bit. There's a bit of food cooking. Looks like a couple of squirrels on a spit.
They've pissed off the squirrels. Oh god.
There is a bit of low chatter, but they have covered faces, and it's a bit of a distance.
Hmm.
So, think these are the guys?
Possibly. I mean, they have covered faces, so it means they don't want to be known who they are.
Is there anything else that's seen in them other than they just have rough leathers on?
They are armed, of course. But then, who would ever go into a woods without them? They have bows. They have one of them at least has a crossbow. They've also got swords, clubs, a couple of daggers.
It seems they are meeting the description that was given to us earlier.
Well, we only know that he talked about some men in the forest. We don't know if he said he did get a good look at them.
There's a brief moment where a few of them lean over, there's a bit of words, and then there's just a little bit of raucous laughter.
I mean, I don't want to just shoot an arrow at a person just because I think they might be dangerous, you know?
Well, we can always ask them.
Hmm. Well, maybe one of us should approach. And the rest stay behind in case things go bad.
Hmm.
God, a fucking rogue, a wizard, a sorcerer, and a bard. There is no front line here at all.
Made the decision to pass.
You may notice that at this point, the bard is the only one that's gone in behind a tree.
Well, like I said, you're not specifically in this area. You're still a bit further away.
Oh, I had not seen it open up here.
Yeah. Incidentally, for simplicity of it, square with outline, tree. 2 block with outline, fallen tree.
Oh, there it is.
No, sorry.
Oh.
I'll do the L ping.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, you're not specifically in this area. It's just so I could put your tokens down so you could get an idea of where to go, what to do. You're still much further away. Like, these guys are very small in the distance. But you're able to, with a few bits of... That was a fucking banshee whale outside the window. The wind is getting fierce.
Oh dear.
But yeah, with a few like little darts and leans and all, you can see through the trees to where the cover is, and you can make out the 5 of them sort of milling about the campfire.
All right,
Well, we're going to have to get closer, maybe.
Are they cooking anything?
Yeah, they were cooking 2
Squirrels.
squirrels.
Ah,
Well, no, it's a vague number. It could be 4. They've of course cut off removed the pelt, but they've left the furry feet.
Okay, I'll try to move up a little bit. Talk to them, and if things go bad, please help me the best you can.
You're thinking of the last time Bakasari helped you, and then she lifted a dagger.
of course.
I also remember the way, yeah, now that you mentioned that, the way you just say, of course, and imagine with a bit of a smile. I remember that smile before the person decided to stab me.
That's one romantic bridge burned. You'll always have a trauma every time she raises her hand near him.
Just remember, we just need to know who they are. We don't need to know anything else or tell them anything else.
I just start walking down there, kind of as I approach, start whistling kind of loudly, so it doesn't look like I'm approaching
They snap to alert. Two of them get off the logs they're sitting on. Just sort of standing there. They don't bring out anything. Although one does sort of unveil his bow, but he doesn't knock an arrow or anything. As they sort of tilt their heads, sort of get an eye on you, and just watch for a moment as this small little figure whistles casually down the forest. Oi, oi, you knock it off.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't aware that the music was to your taste. Sorry, gentlemen.
You're gonna scare off the animals, mate. You just turn around, you walk right on out. Don't need you a lot scaring off the prey.
Oh. Well, apologies then. What are you out hunting?
A little bit of an arrowed eye here, but, we're sort of sizing you up, which doesn't take long. Just the sight of his little fucking fancily dressed gnome
Yeah.
in the midst of these rough fucking looking hunters. Bit of deer, bit of boar, squirrels. Not much meat on them, but, anything we can get for the town.
Say, would you happen to have come across, heard some noise recently?
Well, actually, on that note, you do have one thing. The voice he's using, no one in the town has that kind of accent. No, wouldn't have. Maybe some clattering of horns of the deer. It's a mating season after all. It's not.
Ah, well then.
So we don't need you getting your foot in our tracks. Just go have a whistle somewhere else, eh, mate?
All right then. Well, I'll be off then, gentlemen.
As he's walking away, the three of you notice that one of them is sliding an arrow, but then stops midway. Like, he's not bringing it up, but he is putting an arrow into the frame of the bow, just thinking about it. They then start to turn to each other, and Otto, you can hear in a language that is not one you know. A few little rush bits and pieces.
If it's a thief can't, I can understand it.
It is not thieves' cant.
Okay.
Thieves' cant mainly is also about, sort of talking around what you're actually saying. It's a lot of gestures, a lot of signs. Like, how's your Auntie Norma means, how we got a crew together for the heist. It's that sort of thing. What they're talking in is an actual language. But they let you walk away.
And I
Probably shit yourself.
Slightly lower, slightly lower kind of whistle, just so see that it kind of be a nonchalant way of walking away to not.
It changes from zippity doo-dah to funeral march.
Okay, these guys are real sketchy. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do now.
This really is the wrong party for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, do you think they're hunting the unicorn?
It's possible.
It's probable. Because I'm going to assume from where we were, we saw the one starting to get the arrow ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dudley didn't, or Otto didn't.
Yeah, because it was what backwards turn.
Quite that if they're just hunters, they wouldn't have been thinking of his back when he was leaving.
You're also cutting out a little bit.
Oh, damn it.
I think there might be something with your wiring or something, because sometimes you also get like a little burst of static.
Oh, damn.
Well, I think that is enough justifiable probable cause.
Justifiable probable cause and beyond a shadow of a doubt. I put it to you, Your Honor. They're guilty.
So, anyone have a plan? You haven't have to have any magic that can just make them disappear, then?
Well, in a way.
Depends on
They-
your definition.
On the bright side here, Webgun and P.O. both get to make a second character for Boarside. They haven't done that yet. Oh wait, sorry, P.O. has. She's got Zarina.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh.
So we're gonna have to attack, aren't we?
That is something that tends to happen, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, my mouse split. Their piece.
Otta, the little tactical voice in your head that reminds you of self-preservation and shit, which is honestly quite chatty. It does remind you that you could always go around.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could go in. You could also ambush. You could be tricksy. There are many options in the world of D&D. Ooh.
Jeez. Did you mess with your wire, or?
Yeah, I just tried messing with my wire.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll be okay. Do you have free bars on Discord as well?
Yes.
Okay. Now, back to the situation. There is a camp of hunters.
Let us sidle around and maybe try and track down the unicorn first. Maybe we can aid it in its own defense.
Hmm. True. We don't need to pick a fight.
That's fine with me. I think if we go that way, we might be able to sail around them.
I mean, considering that they're a little on edge now that you've showed up, Otta, you'd probably have to take a pretty wide circle around them. It might slow you down a bit. Now, of course, the direct route also has some problems.
5 of them.
But there is an injured unicorn with hunters after it.
Yeah.
Time may be of the essence. Then there's also the fact that, you've got to survive to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Are we getting paid for this? Is this a job?
You just decide to do it. Well, Kersari did.
Actually, I believe the reward might well be worth it.
Okay, but I would probably suggest we go around them for a bit,
Indeed.
just in case.
Well, let us be off then.
No. Let us stealth. Because if you're just going to try and march through the woods, they're going to hear that sort of thing.
Oh, still. Something I'm not good at.
Well, you've got 2 guys supporting you quite nicely here. There we go. Look at that. Very good. You do still take a wider circle around them because, yeah, they didn't go, straight to just sitting down again casually whenever you walked away, Otta.
Mm.
And there was a bit of a chance that they could have spotted you guys. Luckily, it didn't happen. Because they noticed that the song stopped instead of going further away. So you do take a bit of a wide route. It's a bit awkward because that seemed to be like the main path. But as you come around, you start to notice very easily there are sets of tracks. There's numerous boots. A couple of paws as well. But it's generally the sign of men. At the moment, they're sort of congregated into a big mass going north. They splinter off a little bit now and again. You see like one walker going across, just sort of fanning out. And they are, it's not obscured at all. It's very recent. It's easy to tell, although detail is difficult.
I don't suppose there's something on the ground that suggests there's like blood or anything.
No, not at this point. It's just a hell of a lot of foot traffic. But it is not natural. Well, not native.
Well, one of these will probably lead in the right direction.
Oh, like I said, they're all going in the same direction of just northwards.
Okay, I thought you said. Yeah.
This is like the big congregated mass. You're probably guessing this is how they came. This is what they were like when they entered the forest. And the splintering off and fanning out might be them setting up for attack.
I'm going to look for unicorn tracks of all things.
All right.
Yeah, same. I guess that's a perception
Survival
Or investigate.
or survival.
Oh,
for natural
Well.
observations.
But-
Dudley, you can tell at this point, even as you're following along the trail, there are no unicorn tracks until suddenly there are, along with blood. As you follow the tracks along to a smaller clearing, much more narrow, and you can see, yeah, there is not a huge amount, but there's enough to say that a wound was caused. And then there's some drips and drops, and you realize, oh, probably the druid. There's not a lot of arrows, though. You actually had this.
okay.
Your own the survival roll is good enough for you to sort of sift through some long grass and find one, but you're noticing that there are, the marks and knocks of arrows that have hit places, but the arrow itself is gone.
They're cleaning up after themselves.
Are there footprints from humans sort of going around and cleaning up after themselves or not?
Not in the clearing area. You do find a few tracks that have. Again, you find them sort of congregating for a bit past the clearing, and then they splinter off again. Noticeably, the unicorn tracks, you see them coming towards the clearing, being in it. A few stomps and whatnot, but then you don't see any leaving the clearing. You see a few steps that are going back into the depths of the wood and then just gone. Grisari is aware, with her good history roll, that they are capable of teleportation.
I'm gonna examine the clearing. I have a feeling I know where it is. Am I looking at a gateway? To somewhere else?
No.
Excellent, I'm happier.
What, were you worried you're going to go into the Horn Zone?
Yeah.
The place where only unicorns may dare tread? Bleh.
Unicorns being nasty fuckers.
I hope he says this.
Are they?
Or am I?
I was about to say, I didn't think unicorns were nasty.
It's what they want you to think.
It's best not to get on one's bad side, but no.
I mean, remember, it is a fact that unicorns are sluts, but that's not a bad thing. No shaming, no judging.
They're still not as bad as dragons.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm thinking Discworld unicorns, aren't I?
What? A unicorn, Dudley, you'd know because you've probably told a few stories about them, or at least been told stories and you've never repeated them. They are celestial beings. They are put there to protect an area and to deliver goodness in general, and to stab things that are nasty. So you're probably fucked.
Yep.
What unicorns were you thinking of?
Discworld.
Ah. Some jumped up stab pony, of course. No, D&D unicorns are nice.
Most of the time.
Well,
I mean, if you piss one off, it's obviously going to go and stab
Yeah. But they are, as a nature, good creatures.
you. Yeah.
so
You can still have an opinion that they're shifty fuckers. You can go ahead with that. But just so the player knows, they are good creatures. That's generally common knowledge. Like, if you see a paladin on a unicorn, fuck yeah, that's going to be a Holy Crusade moment. All kinds of heretics are going to get burned.
Yeah, because the unicorn is allowing the paladin to ride it.
Mm-hmm. They have intelligence. Which you get from the druid saying they had a conversation. And he wasn't being negative about it, so obviously he wasn't just saying nay.
Well, I mean,
Oh, hell.
you never insult.
That
a
was
unicorn.
bad.
Anyway, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Well, we know it teleported. We don't know where.
You can see that the mass of the human tracks are sort of leading off in the three rough groups. One slightly more to the east, one slightly more to the west, one going straight forward.
About how are their sizes?
It looks like sort of... like Dudley could sort of put together a bit better of... It looks like there's maybe sort of groups of 4 or 5, maybe 6. It's a little hard to tell.
Alright, so an even distribution.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they decided to leave just one guy wandering after an injured unicorn.
Well,
Actually, you know what? Fuck it, there
the
is. There is one path that is just one guy.
Well, we're not going that path. He's obviously a badass.
Obviously, there's just
Or
all
the
kinds of...
idiot they didn't want.
There's just a track of dead animals along that path. There are deers with their heads snapped round. There are squirrels that have been contorted into pretzels. There's one badger that's been shoved inside itself.
You see the trees knocked over, the ground uprooted.
Oh no, the trees are
there might be
fine, the
a
grass is
giant-
fine. He just only slaughtered animals.
So he's definitely a flora druid.
Mm-hmm. There's one bear that's been turned into a rug while still alive.
well,
Can we put that bear out of its misery?
It's just a floppy mass that can't do anything but whine.
Yeah.
and back for death.
Also, I handily have a token for this, so yes, he exists.
Okay, but I want to see the bear rug.
No, I just mean for the badass.
Oh. Because if not, I'd go and find.
Oh, that's easy. Just look up Oglaf. They had the flat bears.
I was actually gonna show. There's actually a creature in it from One Piece.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think we can afford to be a casual for this session, but yes.
well, we have 3 choices.
Don't you break this down. Don't you deconstruct your quest here.
Well, we got 3 footpaths we can follow.
You've got 4. Well, 5 actually. You could go back.
Mm.
6, we skip town and head straight back.
Well, between these, let's just head down the step. Let's just head down the center.
Center it is. Just double check. Oh, why is it lagging so badly? Fucking Firefox. Why can't updates just fix things instead of make it worse?
Because that would make sense.
It would make sense. So why doesn't it
Oh.
fucking happen? Anyway.
Well, because this is Firefox, and they're currently on a big safe browsing thing.
Yeah, as it starts to become a little less sort of congested, you do start to notice, yeah, it looks to be 5 people here. Kind of heavy boots. They're not really, like, there's points where 2 or 3 of them sort of vanish for a bit. Like, they sort of divert off and then their tracks get a bit faint, get a bit lost in the foliage. There's also a weirdness, but as your guys are walking, you know, you got used to Frest pretty quickly in that there was no animal noises. As you're traveling along here, it's getting to that same point of just there's no bird song, there's nothing scrabbling around. There is an atmosphere of slight worry, just sort of seeping itself into you. You guys, you could be feeling confident, you could be feeling ready to take this on, but there is something gnawing at the back of your heads of unpleasantness. Still stealthing, I assume?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Let's get the measuring tape out just so I can double check a few things. Yeah, let's bring them a bit further. And grab the group who are traveling in single row.
Single
Hide
file
the
line, too
number.
hard our numbers.
Yeah.
So I've dragged you guys down here. And it is daylight, so there's no worries about any kind of dark vision or whatnot. You can see a lot of the forest ahead of you. And you can see through the various trees and whatnot, one shifty figure in particular, trudging along. Seems to be careful a lot of the time, has not spotted you just yet, because back's to you for one thing.
Also, he seems to be carrying a turret, so be careful.
Yes, exactly. You don't want him to deploy. A few more bits and you can see that, yeah, the group in general, really. How does this modular forest hit you?
Just
I like it.
Yeah.
it's fun.
Oh. Those are familiar faces.
Well, I'm not uploading too many new tokens. Also, barely familiar. They fucked off. You guys caused so much trouble they were able to get away. That's still an amazing thing. We're gearing up for a big combat. No, we're just going to plink at these guys for a while and just let them all run away. But yeah, you can see there's 5 of them sort of trudging along there. 3 of them carrying pretty hefty bows. And they are looking all around them, but they're not looking back at all.
Yeah, they're looking for a unicorn. They're not looking for
Us.
well-dressed idiots.
Yeah. They do all look to the sort of off to the west a little bit, as you can hear the sort of warbling bird call. But it's got that sort of, repetitiveness to it. It definitely sounds like it's from a whistle, not from an actual bird. But they don't seem overjoyed by it. There's a few shakes of a head and more grumbling in that strange language.
Well, they haven't found it yet.
We can probably catch them by surprise.
Yeah, but what if the often sounding off? What if it gets it by surprise and the other team doesn't hear the whistle? Then what?
Hmm.
The bell has tolled. Is the password river, valley, or potato?
Always potato.
So you choose death.
I choose their death.
So we just gotta ambush them, or
We do have to save the unicorn, and with less of the hunters out there hunting it, it does give a better chance for Silverhorn's survival.
All right, but we're gonna have to move closer.
Of course.
I'm guessing we're gonna have to re-roll stealth rolls if we're gonna move in stealthily.
Oh yeah. This is this is different from moving through a forest quietly. This is moving through a forest while knowing there's a chance of being fucking murdered.
Yeah.
Put your token back where it was, you fucker. You've got 25 feet of movement. Every square counts.
50.
Holy shit.
Eh,
You're getting some real benefits on that roll.
there we go.
Oh.
It's up to Dudley.
You got the studs.
He does. Fucking +8. Yes. It shapes a little bit, but the new girl is able to avoid you stepping on many dried twigs, Crisari. You are a high elf. You are not a wood elf. Fuck this shit.
Fuck this branch in particular. How dare it be in the way?
And then she quickly reaches out so it doesn't whip back and hit you. You're able to get 2 movement steps up to it. Well, 2 movement phases, basically.
As in 2 times 25, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Because I was about to say, wow, a whole 2 squares.
Yep.
Don't be so generous.
Blame
Now,
Crisari.
Blacker-
What were you going to say?
Blacker trees, greener bushes.
Yeah, outline is a tree, greener bushes. So you can move through those, but they're difficult terrain, but they also provide a bit of cover. Only partial. And yeah, fallen trees don't hide you out of sight or anything. Unless unless you're Otta or Dudley. Okay, I see you pinging.
Oh, there we go. I just want to do the... There we go.
Now, you can also do an action. The movement thing is just how close you'll be able to get before they are going to pick you guys out.
Mm.
Like, as good as the rolls are, you're still moving towards people who are looking for something. Really?
25.
Really, Scotch?
What?
Every fucking
got
square, zigzag, huh, serpentine?
I'm trying to use the natural cover. Like if I walk out here, there's a straight line. He's a scout.
For those who don't know, in Roll20 you can do basically waypoints for your movement, and he did a fucking zigzag the whole way up.
Well, yeah, I wanted to see how, because I have the 25 feet of movement, so I wanted to figure out like how much distance I can actually do.
Yep. Let's reveal a bit more forest. It's still daylight, and it's not that dense. You're not in a rainforest canopy. They're sort of milling about at the moment.
I think we have to do another stealth roll before you move up if we want to get closer. Without
At this
being
point, it would
discovered.
be very difficult to get any closer to them. Like, I mean, you're really not that far away in general.
Yeah.
And they are alert to things around them. They just haven't spotted you guys just yet.
Hmm. Can't remember what's the distance for shot, but before it becomes a.
It's something like... Hang on, I've actually got it on a creature. Short bow, where...
Like 60.
Oh, didn't put it on that one. Hang on. No, it's more than 60. Because I think it's something like 80. 80, 320, I think it is for a short bow.
Then I can just hit the guy.
Webgun should know, considering he's been using a short bow for quite a while now.
I don't need to remember those things. It's just on my sheet, I think.
Hang on, short bow.
Yeah, it's in the compendium anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's 80 320.
That's
The thing is, it's,
There we go.
Oh, it's
under
150.
normal
Yeah,
circumstances,
83.20.
Dazzle can only shoot 60 feet anyway. She can't see any further.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 8320.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I can just hit the guy right here without disadvantage.
Yep. Well, you have advantage anyway because it's a surprise attack.
Oh yeah, but it will just be normal roll
See,
on the others
perfect.
because of
Yeah. Which
I
isn't
have
bad.
to aim high.
You just don't get your sneak attack.
yeah.
Well, no, you would
Well,
because they're
he's not
surprised.
aware. Yeah.
So you can take the one chance or go for 2 dice.
I kind of try and kind of catch people's attention around me, just kind of mimicking that I'm going to try and shoot guy over there.
I'm gonna
I
say
give a thumbs up.
I'm gonna say even with stealth rules, the party is a bit conspicuous with half of it is because you've got the 2 guys, sure, travel ready and all, but I'm pretty sure Crisari and Vitinia are doing this in full evening gowns.
Close enough, yeah.
Mine could pass for druid gear.
I don't know. We never described the characters.
I mean, they are first.
I mean, I've got an image for it, so.
So what does she look like pressed against a tree, ready to strike? We might as well do the descriptions now while you guys decide on your targets.
I can only hit the same one that's being hit.
You could fret it a bit. There's another dude there.
Uh, can I hit that one?
Yeah.
Yes, basically, if you just go like your carriage just angle right around the tree, you can hit him. Because the other part is a bush, so it's not so. There's an open line in between.
Zoom out more. Nah, he's still 5 feet away. That one.
I've got a question.
Yes.
What do the turrets mean?
These guys have big bows.
Okay.
And they cannot lie.
The others just have small bows or a crossbow. And swords, generally. Basically, these guys look more huntery.
Alright. Well, here goes nothing. I try and hit the guy here. The short
Right.
bow. Peace was never an option.
Un momento, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Well, he still gets his attack off.
No,
that
I
was
was just like,
bound
oh, I can't click my token. I'm like, oh, I just selected the wrong.
Yeah, you're on the pointer.
Always. Always. Well, 20, why do you do this?
That fucking thing. Why does it happen? I click the text box and it decides, no, I'm going to bring up a little bar instead.
I forgot to click me.
It's alright. But yeah, we should probably get to what the characters actually look like here as you're ready to end these guys' lives.
Well, others basically looks like
Hell.
well, yeah, but also like his dress just with a slight bit of leather armor, but basically like some of the hobbits from the Lord of the Rings. With boots on, of course.
Yeah. Also, he's a gnome. That's why I keep getting confused with him and Dudley. Dudley, how about you as you ready your whatever?
Dudley is down on his luck bard. He currently has no strings on his loot. This does not deter him whatsoever.
Is he drawing back a bow? Is he readying a blade? Or a spell?
At the moment, he's getting ready to shout insults.
Okay, so he's just mentally going through what could he call a tall person. Gotcha.
On that note, hang on. I've got a list.
Oh, no.
Victina.
He is in a very lovely black dress with gold trim, not horribly ornate, and obviously not with a hoop or anything like that. But
Floor-length dress, fucking high heel, stilettos, why not? In the forest, sure.
no, not high heels, no stilettos, flat shoes.
Probably boots, to be
what
fair.
is it? All right, and I know what she's gonna. Only problem is from where I'm at, I can't hit anybody. I'll have to move.
Well, that'll be an actual initiative, not the surprise round.
Yeah.
And Crisari.
Let's see. It's a green leotard with a half cloak on one side. Rather fancy traveling boots with a little gold trim. A bit of fur lining the shoulders and a high pop collar. And of course her backpack carrying her books and scholarly tools.
You wouldn't think she'd be running around with her legs out.
Just the one.
These guys, meanwhile, are wearing a autumn collection of various kind of leather armors, mostly sourced from local goods and wares. You can see here that there's even a signature of a local smith who made it. Very stylish, very easy to transport in. Anyway, so Otta, you do hit, but what's the other attack being made? So we have Otta, and who else is doing this synchronized firing?
I can attack this one with something as well.
He's about to have a bad day.
Yes, he is.
Especially seeing that's the only one that Dudley can yell at.
So, at this guy are being hurled an arrow, insult, and magic.
Yep.
My question is, will I be able to lean out far enough? Because if I come on over to this spot, could I nail this guy?
Just to make his life even worse. You wouldn't be able. You wouldn't have your cover. I mean, you're all still going to get noticed. Because you're wearing a black dress in a forest during daylight hours. And the rest all have something coming out of them, sort of. Like, Dudley can't really hurl insults stealthily.
Yeah, it's not like, we're going to be...
Yeah. So it's up to you. Do you want your initial cover or not?
No, I'll just fling and then worry about it later.
Alright. So, Otto's rolled his attack. Crisari, you do the same. Same with you, Dudley.
I'm gonna give him something to roll. Oh, great.
Hang on, let me just roll damage here. Let's see.
Yep, let's see. Let's hope. Oh,
He doesn't have a sneak attack bound in.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Plus a d6? 2d6.
At your level, I think it is 2d6. Possibly.
You have +3 as a rogue? On your dex? What the hell? Anyway. That's, wow.
Not a lot of damage.
It's not a lot of damage. But let's see if he even takes the 2 points. So, first off is a wisdom save. Okay. He makes it, so that 1 damage is not dealt. What do you yell, Dudley, if it falls so flat?
You look funny.
I was going to cast Detect Thoughts, but I don't think I'm going to find anything up there.
It's the length of it that really just deflates it. Like, there might have been impact in a short, piffy comment, but it stretches to a full sentence, and he's just sort of... He's not paying attention at this point, mainly because there's a fucking arrow in him now.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit cold. as he takes a
Yeah, but
grand
he's got
total of 10
disadvantage.
damage from this surprise attack.
Hey, he's got disadvantage on his first attack roll. I'm
Yep.
fine with that.
He's just more confused than anything when he hears the insult coming afterwards. Like,
Yeah, I
what the
didn't-
fuck?
Yeah, I didn't think this arranged itself. There we go, that's better. So, we're at top of a round because they don't get to do anything. Dudley, your turn.
I'm gonna try again.
You can do it.
I mean, you've got a pretty good chance. That's not right. Oh, he's rolling on his table. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a table of insults? Ooh.
Yeah, he probably found it somewhere.
You only have a 13?
Hey.
You look like a scab on a troll's wart.
Oof.
I mean, that's offensive. That's
True.
pretty unpleasant, man. He's injured by that somehow. Even as vicious mockeries go, it feels weird that he took damage from that, but yeah. Any movement from you? Any bonus?
Not at this point. I think I'll just hide slightly further behind this tree.
Okay. Otta.
Yeah.
It's taken an hour 15 to get into combat in this short one shot. Because you guys fucking drag your feet. What do we do with this hunter camp?
Well, our group isn't exactly.
I know. You all showed up with the wrong people for it.
Yeah.
When you think
It's
that
like
there could have been a fighter and a paladin here.
yeah, it's like in each Boarside, we grab the exact member that the group doesn't need.
Oh man, yeah, I should really have taken Garen hard.
And then, of course, the previous quest we had, a bit of quandary, a bit of mystery, and not having to murder people, but you took Flex Team, who all wanted to kill. And Bad Touch Cordell.
Well, gotta try and hit the guy I already put an arrow in.
You can do it.
Pretty easily.
Nope.
There's another arrow sails by, so what's your movement? What's your bonus?
I can't remember. As a rogue, do I have an extra movement?
Yeah, you've got your
Uh,
cunning action, so you can use your bonus to dash.
Yeah.
You have no extra base movement.
Yeah.
That's for monks and barbarians.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run up to the trees up here, trying to get a bit closer.
Try to get an angle on the other dudes, maybe.
But yeah, I'm trying to be behind the tree here. I don't know which side would be best to, like trying to take cover behind this tree.
They call out a few things to each other, which is pretty obvious, we're under attack, fucking take cover. This one's gonna run down here. Let's see. He's got a bit of a shot. This one's gonna run back behind the tree. Let's see here. Where's my measuring tape? He can't really get anywhere handy, so he's going to run basically to here and get a bit of cover. Let's see now. Do they have a shot on anyone? Just the one person. It's time for the new girl to get blooded.
Yep.
They're both going to fire off their hunter's bow.
Pew.
Oh, shit!
Ah, that's unfortunate.
It's worse. They have a special ability.
Oh god.
So, certain these are using the archer stat block, a little bit reduced in numbers, but they do have a special ability where they can, a couple of times a day, roll an extra d10 on their damage.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
No, that's
Yeah.
2d20s. That would be nice. Let's see here. There you go. You managed to get the shittest roll of them all.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the
Still,
16 hit as well, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Still 16 damage.
Yep. So considering you guys left without any healer, I'm going to say that you were given 2 potions of healing each.
Okay.
Thank you. or would you prefer me to do it in a beetle type of voice?
No, the only one I like is Fishman and the battleship guy. Kaboom! One of my favorite
I have to
characters
say
from
that-
fucking Wind Waker.
They almost malgurned it.
Normally he only gets to add 1d10, but hey, it was a crit, so why not? Let's go for it. Alright, that's their turn. Crisari.
Oh boy. That was...
To be fair, that was just 2 arrows.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was just 2 arrows. They have plenty more.
Yep. Well, a few of them do.
Alright, well, first things first, I'm going to burn a spell slot to cast Mage Armor. So I'm less likely of getting one shot.
It didn't help me very much.
But yes. The hit points are drastically reduced if they work with this party, and also they only get 1 attack.
Okay, so...
And they're just getting to use your special once, because that's easier to juggle. And it makes sense for how fucking
Ugh.
squishy this party is, Jesus Christ.
This tree is awful. Like, I can't tell which side to be on. Because it's like half for
Yep.
each.
It's well placed considering I just dragged these things at random.
Yeah. And Valiant, just Mage Armor and moving.
Okay. It's time for the guys who are not brandishing big bows, despite how I used that one for a token. Let's see. So this guy saw you running, Duds.
Do me not.
Nope, he saw Dudley, but also Otta.
I'll just say still running. So
He is going to take off in a run.
nah, shit.
There we go.
To be fair, I'm the guy who's been yelling out insults.
Yeah, he's kind of the most obvious. This guy's going to take cover with his tree. Let's see. Do these guys have anything on hand?
Okay, time to think of this as an XCOM situation. How to get the best flight.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to give a risk on this here, even with disadvantage. Yeah, he's going to do an auto as well. As he reaches from his belt and pulls out a bolo and hurls it at you. And fails horribly. Oh, that was the GM. But he rolled a 10, but a free as well. So yeah, no worries there. You're fine. Oh, actually, no, if everyone was going to swing that as well, he might as well. He's in range. He doesn't even have to do it with disadvantage. Excellent. So this one's a Dudley.
Oh,
Nice. For 4 bludgeoning. And you are currently restrained. As yeah, he just flings out this strange sort of length of rope with 2 weights on the end of it and just hurls it at you. It coils around, binds your arms. Not your legs.
Oh, no, you skipped.
Oh, I skipped you. Well, you're just sitting in the darkness so much, it's hard to tell. But yes, it is the turn of Victini.
Alright.
Weren't you a special Pokemon?
No. If I'm this guy here, right?
Yep, you can see him pretty clearly. I'll give him partial cover, actually. So this is a +2 to his AC, which is really low. These guys are sort of lumbering, they don't look all that dexterous.
Oh,
That's a clear
God.
hit. That's an easy hit.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
He's hurt. Slightly. Very slightly.
I'm going back behind this and I'm gonna pout. Oh, and I'm also gonna do a potion. What am I
2d4
rolling
plus
for?
2.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that this is because after the horrors of Frest and the confusingness of the Euphoria horror, yeah, they're gonna start equipping you guys a little bit better. Unfortunately, it meant that you didn't get paid for a while because it was being added up to the cost of the potions. All right, Dudley.
Yeah.
You can do a strength roll to get out. That would be your
I
action.
think that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Let's see the mighty strength of Dudley.
You're actually quite far off from the DC. Yeah, what's the -1+1 there? Oh, stat and then
not
jack
too
of all
sure.
trades.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good enough. You got your movement though.
I'm gonna hide around the side of the tree. Do I have enough movement left? Motion left over to cast Healing Word? I'm not too sure if that's
If it's just verbal,
is a. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to check.
I think you could probably cast Vicious Mockery. I don't know if that has somatic.
I think that's just verbal.
Yeah. Of course, that was an action and
Yeah,
you used
I
it.
could. Yeah. I can cast Healing Word as a verbal.
And for those wondering, yes, Restrain does remove your movement, but not in this case a little homebrew weapon. If he was hit by 2 of them, yes, he'd be fucked.
Yeah, so basically it wrapped around his arms.
Yeah,
So
the next one will go around his feet. And then the third will go around his mouth.
You don't
Yeah.
know where the fourth goes.
Oh, okay.
Is it just verbal?
Yeah, just verbal.
There we go, then. Otta.
I was about to say to Dudley that he could move into range of someone who could maybe assist him in getting the.
Wait, who did he heal?
You, I imagine.
Oh.
You're the only one who is injured at this point,
I-
I think.
No, you
No, that's
took
why I wanted
forward
to
damage.
double check.
You took 4 damage as well, Dudley.
Eh.
Yay, now I'm only missing 1 HP because I only have 18.
Welcome to the life of a caster.
I've taken damage and I still have more than that.
Yep. It's also making me wonder about the climax of this.
Max.
I'm gonna have to shrink the direwolf down to a puppy. I'll just make the hill giant a slightly tall dude,
With a really angry face.
and the dragon is just an obstinate bearded dragon.
Gotta run up here and try and stab this dude.
That's oh, I guess you're using your cunning action for it, yeah.
Yeah, it gives him a cunning action.
Well, I think you also get some mobility stuff with your scout as well after you stab someone.
No. It's just that
Yeah, you
if
get
someone moves within.
you can dance away, yeah.
Yeah, if someone moves within, I can use my reaction to move up 5 feet away. Okay, gotta try and stab this dude.
You do.
9.
For 9, a savage blow as you just get him right in the thigh and he starts to piss blood. He's real hurt by that. Anything else from you?
No, that's it.
It's time for the Bow Boys. Who think they've got pretty good odds right now. Ah, Jesus. Ah. Very itchy day. Okay. Who think they've got very good chances right now, so let's see here. He's going to run here. Okay. He's going to take a horrible... okay, and then this one. Actually, I've got to work out his first before attacking. Might as well do it Warhammer style, movement first, then the attack phase. Alrighty. So that's going to be first shot at Krasari. Just goes fucking wide. It lodges into the tree about 2 feet above you. This next one is on Dudley, who has cover, but also, you know, he's restrained and all, so it's just a straight run with a plus. What's your AC normally, Dudley?
16.
That misses in. You got pretty high cover from being right beside a tree. Oh, wait a minute, what am I talking about? He gets another roll, because you're restrained currently. But still fails. And this one is running the fuck away. Krasari.
Right. First of all, I'm getting to better cover than half tree.
It's a plus
could've
2,
shot
that's not
first.
bad.
You could have shot first and then go into cover.
True, except gonna peek out. And can I see this one?
I mean, if you'd stood where you were before, yes. But where you are now, he's got cover.
That's fine.
Okay.
As I
Guess she's
said,
using one of her save or suck spells. He does not save against it. He is very frozen.
Alright, and
Very
that'll
cold.
be it for me.
And remember that he has.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can
disadvantage.
Put a token on him maybe to remember that he has disadvantage.
It's fine. There's only 2 of them taking part right now. Let's see. Yeah, this one's going to take a risk. Pop out here. He can see you pretty clearly, Krasari. This one is going to disengage. The one beside Otta. And then jumps over you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. As he just decides to run for it, he drops his sword.
Would ya?
Does a 15 hit Krasari?
Nope, I have 16 AC.
So yeah, the bolo sails past. He doesn't look pleased, although it's hard to tell because you're just seeing eyes and a bit of brow. Viscount.
I have a feeling she's just gonna get more and more and more interesting nicknames as time goes on. Yeah, this guy over here, I don't like him. Which one of these two do I want?
He has thrown his sword down and he is running.
Yeah, no, I don't care. The coward. Yeah, okay, that is.
Oh, you really want him fucking dead.
You get to roll that 2 more times.
Yep.
So it's basically like that scene in RoboCop. Just the impact comes off, a hand goes, then the other arm is sliced right off in the impact. And then the head as he just falls over dead. He did not have much HP. And just that whole bush is just showered in bits of him and blood.
Dudley's going into flashbacks at this point.
The cackling probably doesn't help.
So much blood.
Heck was
No.
that? I just heard like a screech.
That suddenly was just cut off.
That's a squeaky door being blown around by the wind. There's a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of roaring wind right now.
I was like a cat was shrieking or something.
I imagine Otto's not in a good way there at this point.
Anything else from you, Vivisection?
Let me see. She might want to move, come to think of it.
I did put. Hang on, just making sure here. I did put Victina onto the actual show. Yeah, I did. Okay.
There we go. I moved up a little bit.
Okay. Dudley. I mean, revenge was obtained, but holy shit.
Yeah, Dudley is definitely trying to get out of these bonds. He is not happy at this point for various reasons.
He can't get into a. Yeah, you easily break the bonds.
Okay, that
It's
was my
it's not really a
action, so-
snapping heroic style. It's more sort of shrugging enough to make it loosen.
Oh dear.
So your arms are free now.
arms-
You're no longer restrained.
Yep, but I've only got a bonus left, and I've got nothing to do with it at this point. So hide further behind the tree.
As you get closer to the mound of what once was a person.
Dudley is not happy.
I should just said you all get after fresh. You all get the custom flaw of PTSD. Otta,
Yeah.
you thought you were pretty civilized about how you were dispatching that guy, and then that happened.
What is wrong with the casters? If I move to here, can I hit this guy?
Hang on, just fixing the door. Which guy? In pocket. Yeah. That's a clear hit. Well, whenever you roll, it will be.
Yeah. Let's shoot him with the short bow.
Just a twang.
Nope.
Never mind. You want to hurl insults, maybe? It's not going to have an actual damaging effect, but it might make you feel better.
I can't remember. Could I use the bonus ability to try and hide?
Yeah. It lets
I'll
you
try and
it lets you
hide.
dash, disengage, or hide.
Yeah, try and hide behind the tree that I just shot from.
No one will suspect you're there.
Do I have to do a stealth roll or?
Yep.
Nice.
You're, for all intents and purposes, concealed. It's going a bit rough for these guys. Let's see here.
I'm sure they greatly enjoyed the sound of their friend being obliterated.
Actually, these guys seem kind of unmoved, like the ones with the bows. Despite the one that, of course, is getting the fuck out of Dodge. But as he does run, you then hear, very close to you now, a different bird warbling.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yep. However, this guy runs over here, drops his bow, and just brings out, let's see here. Man, did I not list these guys with a fucking short sword? I must have one. Here we go. Yeah, the stats are about the right thing for this, so yeah.
Disadvantage.
Ah, yes. Guard short sword. You're lucky it was disadvantage.
Yeah.
6 slashing. Well,
Okay.
piercing. Yeah, piercing, actually. This one, however, yeah, an arrow sails past, but it's kind of with contempt that he considers that Otta. As he moves down here instead to get a shot on Dudley. But the arrow sails past. Crisari.
All right. Moving here.
All Alright, you step around the tree to get closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
Although you didn't actually have to move, but I suppose if you want cover from the rest.
Yeah. I saw the other one. Hmm.
Well, yeah, I suppose it doesn't have a roll, so there's no disadvantage there. Once again, he fails. Number 5, he seems a bit tougher than the rest of the breed, but he is starting to look a bit worse for wear as his skin starts to crack underneath the frostbite.
Ugh.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay. Next up, the regular bandit that's left. Everyone's fucked. Yeah, he saw all that arcane energy pour off, and he knows he doesn't want to be at distance for that. He's gonna try and shank you.
I don't like that. How dare you shank a lady?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. And I can't believe I don't have a fucking basic bandit short sword attack. Weird. Yeah, let's see. Just a normal short sword. Still hits though.
Oh yeah, that.
For 4. As he just tears quite a chunk out of his incredibly expensive gown.
Do you mind?
He starts to mutter in a language that you just don't get. It's sort of, but he's sort of continuing to go. It might be a little bit of a chant.
Oh, I don't like that.
Alright, Viridian, what you're up to?
Oh.
That's a good hit. Sort of.
Wow.
He's not even under half now. And these guys have dick all for HP.
Well, you can still move away at least.
Yeah. He is, as you grab hold of him and just send a shock through his system, you can see fingers clench and spasm. Eyelids are sort of trying not to close over, and he's just sort of shuddering.
Yeah, he doesn't have any reactions.
Yep. Because he's been tased.
I guess I'm going to do 2. Wait, I could just go around this way. I forgot.
Oh yeah. I could also point out the fact that you can still see the dude who blasted the whistle, considering this is all daylight.
There we go. Okay, yeah, and I have a line of sight on him, so I'm all good.
Mm-hmm. Dudley, do it right.
You're right. Okay. I'm going to look at the guy to my north. And, yeah, he's going to get a talking to.
Oh, God.
Why?
Is it worth rolling? Let's see. It happens at least, so hey, it's a disadvantage.
You look like like the armpit of an unshaven bog head.
And now we see why I did 1 damage. Movement bonus.
I'm gonna scoot round the side of the tree so he can't. It doesn't have direct line of sight on me.
Otta, you're waiting in darkness.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot the guy in the back with a short bow.
Advantage.
I have distracted him.
Well, also Otta was out of sight.
Oh my fucking
That's
God.
a miss.
I'm afraid I'm behind a tree.
Just gonna move around here and try to hide again.
Oh, wait, you were hidden?
He was.
Yeah.
Oh. never
Yeah, an
mind.
11 doesn't hit either.
Yeah.
It's a time of bow, boys. This one saw an arrow fly past him, so he's going to walk over here. Your stealth roll doesn't count for shit when he can just see you. Let's see. No movement needed from the other one either.
Yeah, hang on. Just gonna take my reaction and move away.
And then he follows you because he still had movement. He's at disadvantage,
Does have
so...
disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah, but first of all, on Krasari,
Ooh.
and then...
Roll again. Disadvantage.
Oh yeah, he still had disadvantage this one. There you go. Miss.
Yeah. Frostbite is a wonderful spell.
Otta is not so lucky.
Oh, God.
For
Ow.
7, as he just drives the sword in against you. And with the warbling wailing done, I got bad news for you. Victini, you did come round to get a line of sight, but you're now also the first one he can see.
Yep.
16
That does hit.
for 6 piercing. To remind viewers, they are currently up against 5 bandits. 5 basic-ass bandits.
We're all rolling as low as humanly possible.
They've already killed one, it just took a while.
Yeah, we're all rolling pretty bad.
And then he's going to move into cover. Krasari.
Alright. I'm going to move here. And I'm going to fire off some magic missiles to take care of the guy in front of me and direct the rest to this one.
Alright.
That's 3 missiles, right?
Yep. So I'm guessing 2 on the first guy?
Yep.
Or are you just going to fire until he's dead?
Till he's dead.
Alright, then all 3 have to do the job.
Ooh, he was fairly robust.
Yep. Well, you say that, I mean, it's 12 damage. It's not a lot. But yeah, it's a lot less, because it didn't push him over that far, it's a lot less explosive. Instead, you're just sort of thudding him against a tree. I mean, it's still unpleasant as, you know, the first bolt hits him in the head and you just see his head jerk back and smack against the trunk and there is a blood smear. Then the other gets him in the gut and the last gets him in the chest and he just sinks down dead.
Alright. Let's see. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Oh yeah, I should reveal more just so you don't feel so constrained. There is places around here.
Turn over.
Okay. This bandit can see his chances, but he's still muttering whatever sort of slogan is going through in his head as he comes after you.
How
Victini.
rude.
Yes. No disadvantage on him this time. He just gets the roll. And
He
misses.
does not hit.
As he tries to stab at you again. But he's still incessantly murmuring. Verisimilitude, you're up.
There we go.
Never hit.
Let's see. That's better.
He is brought to the lowest he can possibly be while still alive.
We are
As you
now
shock
very-
him, you see his skin blacken and crisp up. His one eye is just horribly bloodshot, almost completely full of red. And there's blood trickling from his nose. You can guess that because it's staining his face mask.
I'm going the way the heck over here.
Doodly.
Dudley is going to move up slightly. and see the guy off to his left, and shout some words of insult at him. It's okay.
Well, you can kill him. What do you say?
I'd like to leave you with one thought, but I'm not sure you have anywhere to.
Ooh.
He just topples forward dead. The two casters are pretty... Like, the two female casters are pretty sure he died of the wounds done by the shocking grasp, but, you know, he didn't topple over until after the insult, so maybe Dudley did it. Movement and bonus?
I can't. Well, I've already used. Can
Used
I
your
cast
movement.
a spell after using a cantrip?
Yeah, it's a bonus action, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast a healing word on the injured one.
I think this is going to be a theme.
Again. You know, just a reminder, guys, Cure Wounds is a bigger dice value than Healing Word.
It is.
Guess what I don't have?
Yeah, figured as much. Otta.
Yeah, I'm gotta try and stab the guy in front of me.
That's a hit.
Hey, now see as I roll the lowest possible amount of damage.
Close enough. Like, for a real rogue, that would be close enough to the damage. I know. I've played with Cordell. As you shank him in the leg.
And
Hang on. I'll expose a bit more woods so you have somewhere to back up to if you want.
I'm just gonna use my bonus action to hide back here. Not actually hide, but
Yeah. To back away.
disengage. Yeah.
Alright, back to the bow, boys. Let's see now. Hey, you know, he feels his chances are low anyway of surviving this, but he's going to give it his all. He's going to shoot at Vivisection. But she has pretty heavy cover. So that misses.
Yeah.
This one's just going to chase you, Otta. Actually, you know what? He's not going to chase you fully, because he sees that his sword's just not doing enough, so he steps over here and then just fucking draws execution style his bow.
Oh god.
But still misses. Because he's used to... He's just not used to your sort of height, your stature. You're a weird target profile. Also, we've hit 70 degrees on my computer right now, just on Roll20 and streaming.
Ooh.
That's it for them. Krasari.
Oh boy.
So that's all the normal bandits dead.
As I walk through the forest. Gonna move here and try and take out this guy. And I'm actually gonna do an attack roll for once.
Holy heck.
This one, again, not gratifyingly gory or anything, as just the dust seems to coil around him until his body gets rigid and he just falls. Doesn't shatter, but there is this unsettling cracking noise. Hopefully it's just his frozen clothing.
And that'll be it for my turn.
Yeah, it's a good turn. Viva Pinata, what are you up to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see that guy. And I want to set him on fire. I don't think I set him on fire.
You do not set him on fire.
Then I go 6.
All right, Dudley, you got the chance to actually do something.
Yep. I'm gonna be the brave boy. I'm gonna move up and shank him.
It hits.
Oh. Jeez.
Why is he a better rogue than you are? There's not a whole lot of him left now as you stab him in the leg, and it's the other leg that he was stabbed in, so now he's just sort of standing there tremoring, blood pissing down his thighs.
He's just doing the Ace Ventura when he has both spears and it's like going.
No, that's the weird thing. He's not making any utterances at all. Like, there's a little oof, and that's it. He's not wailing in pain. He's not really reacting properly to it either.
Okay, I was gonna say I would like to ask you some questions, but he's not doing anything. This is a little worrying for me.
Well, you can still ask him if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you some questions.
As he looks down at you with your sword still in his leg, it's very angry looking. He's just got that sort of death glare on you.
Okay.
So it's kind of what you
Okay.
expected.
Also the blood.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's just a normal cut. That's fine. It's just a stab wound.
Yeah.
Otter.
Yeah. So can I move behind him here and get the? Do I get like sneak attack damage or something like for flanking him?
So long as a buddy is within 5 feet of the monster and being, an active threat.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be flanking position or anything like that there.
We just be here.
Yeah.
Well, of course, if I could hit, but that's another thing entirely.
It's okay. You were flanking. Stab him.
Yeah.
Also, I had advantage as well.
Yeah, sure.
You just want this fight to be over.
He's got 4 HP. He's dying one of these turns. As you lunge fitfully through it, but he doesn't have quite as much resistance, and you go a little too far, and Dudley, you have to lean back a little bit.
Oh, God.
It wasn't in danger of hitting you, but, just reaction-wise, oh boy.
Yeah, suddenly, so rapier goes through his gut and through the other side.
Well, he's got some trauma related to rapiers, anyways.
No, Otta
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It's a wonder you can even pick it up. We're out of initiative now, as he slumps down dead, just pouring blood through the pinhole pricks.
Alright. I'm gonna try and remove his mask to try to see his face.
Wow, you removed too hard, he's gone.
Oh no.
Okay, you peel it off, and what you see is kind of pale looking, but doesn't look abnormal at all. He seems like he had some sort of diet to him. It's a human.
Is he warm?
Yeah, warm to the touch. Well, getting colder as time goes by,
Yeah. Started off warm. At
and the
least.
darkness closes in.
um.
Yes, anyway, continue with your investigation. Yeah. He just looks like a normal person, but is now dead. Features are pretty rough looking, actually. Not a pleasant person, but not ugly. Just sort of, this guy's probably had his nose broken once or twice.
Okay, so nothing.
Can I scavenge a short bow from one of these fellows?
If you want, it's gonna be unwieldy for you. They're human.
Okay. No,
There's a
never
bit of a
mind,
size
I'll just
difference.
keep on I'll keep on insulting them then. That seems to work
Do you not
well.
have a short bow?
No.
All right. Yeah. Well, to be fair, a short bow would probably be the long bow for a halfling. So yeah, go ahead. It's not a pleasant looking bow. It needs a bit of an extra finish to it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to briefly ruffle through some pockets and see if anybody has any, like, identifying information.
The noises that other guy was making. Should we get out of here?
Hang on. The lady's made her decision. You all have to
we
live
want
with
to
it.
get out.
You roll me an investigation. Let's see how quickly you can rifle through.
Yeah, this is yeah. Right.
Yeah, pretty quickly as you sort through. I mean, you also come away with 6 copper and 15 silver.
Oh.
Although, as you look at the coins, they're not Raxan coins. As you flip through, you can see a royal you don't recognize and a large lion face roaring on the other side. Normally, for Raxian coins, there's a knight's helmet and 2 cross swords.
Not local as expected.
Yep, not local. A bit rougher as well, probably wouldn't be as expensive. As for identifying things, you don't find much at all. I mean, you do find 4 darts. But any sort of parchment, leaflets, writings, personal effects, it looks like they were intentionally traveling light to not be sort of identified. Although you do find also the bird whistle.
Alright, so I pick up the bird whistle.
So Dudley has an instrument now.
Hey, I can use my lute as as a drum.
Yep.
It's perfectly acceptable.
No, but you can.
All right, I think we need to get out of here.
Yes, let's go.
Indeed.
I suggest we go the direction that these fellows were kind of traveling when we encountered them.
You're going to keep going their direction?
Yeah.
Okay. As you set off deeper into the forest again. There is, after a bit of time, like a few minutes pass before you hear a slightly closer bird call. It's from the same direction before. It's the same one you heard before you encountered this group. Well, as you encountered this group. But it feels like you're getting a bit further ahead. Like they're more coming side on.
Can I cover our tracks?
It's a bit late now. You sort of set off without deciding to do that beforehand. But if you want to start... If you want to start trying to get rid of footprints, sure. That'll be a survival roll.
Okay. Don't worry, guys. I got them.
Jeez, we're already at 2 hours in the session.
Yeah.
Don't worry. They're perfectly hidden.
I think that's fair to say I blame you guys. I mean, we could always do this another time.
True.
It doesn't have to be a one-shot. It's probably better as a one-shot, though. We'll just open up with the next session of Raxus with an hour of Boarside first. So the other players can sit around doing nothing while you guys do this.
As it turns into 3 more hours, knowing us.
At this point, probably. Yeah, this is not gonna be finished in one go, sadly. So, you're trying to wipe away your tracks. It's not going that great because, dirt, grass, twigs, branches. There's a lot to keep track of, and you are not the tallest of the party. So any time Vicrasari or Victina just sort of pushes past something, just brushes and grazes, there's a bit of a hop, bit of a jump, and you're trying to sort of sort it out, but it's not quite working. And they just don't have the sort of natural inclination to sort of avoid this themselves. Neither does Otta, to be fair. But he causes less sort of, damage for his area.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably leaving tracks.
Possibly.
Yep. Then there's also a piercing shriek of a... It probably was meant to be a bird call, but it's in a panicked way, and it's far to the east, the west. This one actually. Gotta get sort of jumble them right. Yeah, one's pursuing her from the east. This one's from the west.
Hmm.
You may want to head that way.
There's like two shrieking, piercing noises, and then nothing.
That might be a quarry.
Yeah, let's go.
Hmm.
And then, a few moments later, as you decide to set off in that direction, a huge bellowing roar from the distance.
The way we're going?
Yeah.
Do we want to change our mind?
I just imagine they stop mid-step.
Yep.
Well,
Like
that would
They've got the legs sticking out and then just stop.
would be.
What would unicorns sound like when they're angry?
Not that.
Don't think they'd sound like that, but that definitely could be why this group is hunting the unicorn.
Who wants to roll a nature check to sort of identify the noise?
Oh, that's right.
As a bard, I expect I have plenty of knowledge about things.
Yeah, potentially.
Hey.
Nope. I have no idea.
A few of you are vaguely familiar with this kind of thing. It's very bassy, but it's not unlike the kind of sort of rising pitch and sort of length of a cat. Obviously much bigger, to a size you're not familiar with, but it's sort of like the roar of it all. You've dealt with some of the pub cats and all that are really up themselves, who think they own the land. And they've tried to stake their territory, especially with you, Otta. They like to push around the gnomes. And you've had that kind of thing done at you, but way high-pitched.
I don't think that's our friend.
It doesn't sound like a horse call.
Okay, then, well... Should we investigate and see if what's happening, or should we go back to the old tracks then?
Hmm.
There's also, as you settle down here and, nature is not responding to that massive call, you start to pick up on the trickling of a stream nearby. There is the very distant sort of, like it's right on the edge of Krasari sort of ears, of a group moving, but, to the southeast.
Hmm.
Okay, well, let's say we kind of try and move away for now. Away from the people who are approaching us.
We can hear the stream, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we try heading towards the water?
The water is very slightly eastwards. Seems to be sort of... You would have crossed over a few of its little tributaries and all. It's a little sort of like what you imagine like an L shape. So it carves along sort of the side of the forest and then goes upward through it. They try to work out how to properly convey a landscape. Because it's that issue again where I picked this from an old module, but I've changed it immensely, and it had a map, but it also had all the information on the map. Because this is when they expect you to have your own stack of graph paper. But I'm not drawing a forest with fucking Roll20 tools. There is also, of course, the wonder of where would a unicorn hide?
Hmm.
Yeah, I have no clue either.
I would assume in some sort of...
Glade?
Yeah. Probably with some sort of a louder feature.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess following the stream might be a good idea.
And let's see here. We could always just rush to the conclusion. Nah. Yes, we'll do it. Or will we?
Yeah, so we just go
Yeah,
through
you
the
do
stream instead of.
Yeah, you follow the stream. It takes about another hour. You do hear the roar again during that time. A lot closer. A lot closer.
Oh, dear.
Not like right up against your ear, but it's a big sound. There's also, alongside it, the sound of some trees getting broken down. Partway.
Big cat.
Yeah, near the end of the journey. You also hear sort of panicked warbling from the south. Like the bird call you heard before, but 4 short blasts, so they probably discovered the bodies. Dudley's still desperately trying to cover tracks, but just isn't really working all that well.
And now they're wondering, how did that cat monster happen to have rapiers on them? What is going on?
And then, as you move into yet another clearing, you see Otta. You could swear it's one of your grandparents for a moment before you really focus. He's about your same stature, and wearing what looks like a mushroom cap on his head, very red with a few white dots haphazardly straight across it. But as he turns to look at you from his fishing, you can see that he's got, sort of proper gnomish features. He's got nose, he's got eyebrows and all, but you can see the sort of fibrous lines of a mushroom along his skin. He just looks at you all, gives a little wave. Kaluva day.
Oh,
Hello.
there.
We haven't had visitors for a while. Nice ones.
Have
Oh,
you been
you-
having mean?
Come closer, come closer. Let me get a look at you. Get a look at you. I want to see what's new. So I live in this forest, but it's a lovely place, but I do get bored at times.
Understandable.
Yeah, so bored. It's so annoying. No one really wants to play any these days, And you'd think the youth would want to, all the fresh little skittering creatures would want to, but they don't want to play. As he steps around you all, he gets very close into your personal space. But he's smiling. There's a twinkle in the eye. And he's just wearing very rough hoom kind of clothes, but, clean. Especially stands up in front of you, Otto, with a big smile.
Yeah. Hello there.
Hello, indeed. They call me Papa Mushroom.
They call me Otta Golcon.
That's a good name. Much better than mine, but I suppose it's descriptive. But I was wondering, things aren't that happy right now, and I was wondering if you'd like to play a little game.
Well, at the moment.
Oh, it'll only take a moment. It'll only be a little while. See, I'm just so bored, and I want to do something. I'll reward you. Ah, that got the look in your eyes. Even if you guys didn't change expressions, he's still saying that.
We could use assistance.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. You see, things get lost here, and I've picked up a few things and all, but I don't really need them, so a treat for the winners. Sound good? And it's just a short little game. It'll just be simple. Although I don't think you're going to win. I'm going to hide in this area, and you have to find me.
All right.
He looks pretty old and frail. He looks very simple.
Mm.
He's a bit doughy, although, made of fibers. So you think you can catch me?
Well, we could give it a shot. But I'm just gonna warn you, does sound like there's something very big on the way here.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be done before then, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
I look forward to winning. Alrighty. And then we jump to the area. As in a puff of smoke and spores, he is gone. It's actually kind of pleasant smelling.
Yeah.
And you can hear his voice calling out in your head. All right, Finn. I am hidden. Find me now.
Oh.
Just to point out, now that I have this passive perception count into this,
Might do, depending on where you go.
because I have a passive perception of a 20.
Yeah, but you've still got to be keeping. You've got to be actively looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, spread out, I guess.
We probably want to stay in groups of 2, though, just in case we run into those folks.
No, it's just me moving you guys. You can spread out if you want.
Well, I'm gonna try to do some.
Dudley, you're actually getting a bit of enjoyment out of this, not from the seeking, but the fact that he is now singing into your brain. It's a nice
Oh.
little ditty.
I'm blind.
Apparently.
Are we doing investigation rolls or?
I don't know, she just rolled without saying what she's doing, which is the worst thing to
No.
do.
Dudley is looking around while also using his lute as a drum beat for the song going along in the head. That be perception or investigation?
Well, what are you looking for? Are you just glancing around, or are you moving shit about?
I'm trying to find this guy. I'm looking up the trees, as it were.
Alright, looking through the trees. That'll be perception then. It's just sort of milling around, patting at the chin. You're a little too focused on the tune. It's cheerful, it's a little earworm, it's very sort of Fey related. Talking about the cute little brownies, the diligent little gnomes. So, there's 2 failures.
Yeah. Kind of trying to do what the Dudley does as well.
You're sticking to the upper areas of trees?
Might as well try that to begin with.
You're pretty certain he's not in the trees around you. As you look about, you're thinking, okay, magical, but he'd have a hell of a time getting up and down without spells anyway.
I'd like to try the bush I'm at.
Alright, like the rattle through bushes, that'll be investigation.
Perfect. Well, bad, but
You think you're onto it, but then you realize that mushroom's way too small. But you do see a little clump of red-capped ones with little white spots. You also find a few circles of stones as well. Here. And way over here. It's a nice peaceful little glade, though. It feels like all your problems are just gone right now. Indeed, there is the roar after you're, sorting through, but it feels really sort of muffled and distant. Like you hear it, you just think, it's no big thing. Get to that some point.
I'm going to change tact. I'm going to be looking down low. I don't think he's up top. I'm looking for mushrooms.
Oh, now you're looking humble. Not with your noses in the air with pride, but now looking down with the rest of us. Then he's back to his song. Perhaps you're getting warmer. Although it is a nice day, so we should be warm anyway. Yes, Dudley?
What did you say, Compass? Did you say Dudley or?
Yeah, I thought it was Webgun speaking there.
Nope, he didn't say anything.
Okay.
I thought that that Ren was gonna do some a roll for this Tina.
Just
Yeah.
think of what you're gonna do. Congratulations, this is another puzzle.
Yeah.
I was going to investigate the stone circle.
Alrighty, how? Now, give me an idea. Do you just walk up to it and give it a sort of appraisal? Do you poke at it? Do you disturb it? Do you walk inside?
Probably first just a general appraisal.
I mean, you're vaguely familiar with, the fairy circles of Odin. Like, they love their little surrounding bits of flowers, of stones, of pebbles. This one looks pretty much of a depiction of it. And the rocks themselves don't have any kind of defining things to it. They're all very smooth, as if they've come from, underneath a stream or a pond. They've been worn by water.
But they're in a distinctive circle.
In a distinctive circle.
Does anyone else want to try anything?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were figuring out which kind of investigation you were trying to do, like a can or something.
Well, you're all basically getting sort of one thing to try each round.
Yeah.
But, you get time to think on it. There's nothing to worry about here. It's just time to play.
Yeah. I've got to try and look, try to see if there's any of
Dudley
the
is looking around for an encroaching wall of green fire.
So what are you doing, Scotch? If it's actual action?
I've got to try and look around me for like mushrooms that seem to have like any ground around them that's particularly out of place, like they've been a little more disturbed than should be around the mushrooms.
Alright, give me, you know what? Let's vary this up. Give me a survival check.
Oh,
As you're trying to explore the natural world around you.
hey.
It's pretty good. I should probably mark things down. Let's see, I'll grab a bandit. Why not? Just sort of mark out the area. So you do find here that there is... It's a small sort of like conic hill. And you can just see that there are mushrooms popping out of the top of it and all along the side, slanted. Like you think, a mushroom would sort of go upwards normally and just sort of bend its stem, but they are distinctly outwards.
Right. Got to try and go and look a little bit closer to that.
Just gonna look at it, okay?
Try and pick at it a little bit.
The moment
See
you
if there's-
the moment you touch one of them, you start to hear a very sort of like childish giggling. And then the ones around it also start to giggle. And you can see that the mushrooms are sort of moving around a little bit. It's not in an unsettling way, it's just sort of strange, sort of, what's the joke, really? Like, it's just nice laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Very quiet, it's not pounding at your eardrums or anything, but it is spreading along the mound until all of them are sort of gyrating a little bit, jiggling a little bit. Just giggling away.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you found something, but it's not quite the shroom, father.
All right, then. Just gonna ignore that. I don't want to start picking any mushrooms up.
Dudley's gonna climb a tree
Okay.
and see if he can get a better view from up higher up.
Athletics.
Okay, athletics. There we go.
Ooh, climbing up and looking down. Do you think you're the better one of the lot?
No.
It's a little sad as he says it, really.
I guess I'll try
There's-
more direction.
Okay, is perception from up here to see
Yeah, sure.
anything, or
As you glance around, you do see your party just sort of milling around. You're sort of... There's a little hint of your mind sort of wondering why, but... I mean, we could play this for a while. It's not really your own thoughts that's creeping in. It's just thinking, it's a bit of fun, this. It's a mild little distraction. It's so nice after Frest. There isn't any horror here. There's nothing unpleasant, no blood or anything. And as you're sitting there looking around, you do see there's a creature sitting on the branch with you. It's not the mushroom father or anything, but you see it looks like a tiny little sort of sparkly dragon, but with wings of a fairy. Or a butterfly, I mean. It's just looking at you with sort of its head sitting on one bent hand, and then the other just sort of lazing there.
Oh, hello there.
Hi.
Hey, does he do this often?
Oh yes, he loves to show off.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's nice he's not playing with us this time. We get to watch you lot. We've never found him.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's encouraging. Do you know anyone who has?
I mean, he plays with us. I suppose as he rolls over, sort of facing upwards, he's just sort of lazing and lounging. The pixies might have once, but then he got really good at it.
Okay.
He's a good sport, though. We still get our treats when he wins.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
He's acting like this thing's about to shank him.
No, I'm wondering about the other things coming to shank us. We hang around here too.
Do you know how to play music?
Something's-
I haven't seen an instrument like that before.
Okay, I'm gonna start playing out a beat and singing a song.
Oh, it's just a drum.
I lost the strings.
Oh. You could probably get new ones here.
Oh, where from?
You have cats here.
Let me just pull one out. Well, everyone's nice here because of Silverhorn, so although not right now, he seems something's wrong here, but there's the legged lady.
Okay.
She's way up north though.
Okay, Legged Lady North. Good to know. We're coming to help Silverthorn.
Horn.
Silverthorn. Oh,
Silver.
yeah. Any idea where we could find him?
Him. Oh, he's usually let me take a look here. He rolls very slowly over, sort of curls, uncurls, does the big stretching thing, and then just sort of walks towards you on all fours and then pads up you. You don't feel any weight whatsoever. And then when he gets to your shoulder, just takes off in a flight. Just straight up through the trees and bristles, leaving you sort of showered with leaves. Just looks around for a little bit. And you say you're a good person? As he zooms back down to look at you
Yes.
squarely in the eyes. Because bad people aren't allowed there.
Yeah, we're trying to stop the bad people.
Are you being truthful, Dudley?
Yes.
Give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Or you can choose to fail it. Let's see. Actually, Crisari is also in the field, so give me a wisdom save there.
All right.
You, Crisari, feel like being a bit more open with your words. To just sort of speak your feelings. Dudley, you don't.
Man, I just wish I had a unicorn in my collection.
I've always wanted to see a stuffed head of one on my wall. Did you know that they make the best steaks?
I wonder
yeah-
if the new book will sell well.
Yeah. You're just very free with your words right now. You can't really have an internal monologue, but you don't notice it. Does this fairy dragon sort of scrutinize you a bit more, Dudley? And you promise you're a good person?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, dead center. I mean, where else would he be? He protects it all, so obviously he'd sleep in the middle.
Okay, thank you for that. How long does this game usually go on for?
Oh, it can go on days, weeks. We had one satyr that really, really wanted to do this, so he just kept at it for months. Like, luckily, Father Mushroom fed him and all, so it was fine, but he didn't win.
No.
Uh,
He's really
oh
good at
dear.
hiding.
Yes. At this point, I actually wish I had detect magic, but I don't.
Okay, we'll say that's Dudley done. Who's next?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go and like line across, looking.
You're just taking the logical, methodical method here?
Yep.
While you're hearing Crisari talk about her upcoming book?
Yeah, that's distracting.
Yeah, because the rest of you are just sort of focusing on Hunt. She can't. She has to be talking.
So I'm
We're all
going along
here at
for
the
my-
Trust of Wrist. Yeah, I got a name for it. Quite proud of it.
Probably not the comforting words that Otta and Dudley want to hear.
I do them quite well in this book.
I don't know that. You probably haven't been speaking much about it.
Well, no one's asked.
Alright, so
Yeah,
you're just sort of methodically looking around the ground.
Bingo. And in bushes if I see them.
That'll be survival.
Okay. Press the button. There we go.
Warmer. Colder. Colder. Warmer. And you realize as you're doing this, it's because he's doing it every time you walk into a sunbeam. He's saying warmer. And each time you step out, he's saying colder. As you walk the line.
Very funny. I appreciate your wit.
It's all part of the game. Crisari, Otta. Oh no, Otta's already done his mound of mushrooms. Crisari, what are you up to? Because we're sort of top of her round again. Oh, no, I think she had to step away for a second. Yeah. So, top of her round again. You're no closer to finding him. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm just gonna try and just kind of look for the nearby bushes, see if he's hiding in there, and at the same time, kind of going, "This is fun and all, but I'm afraid that your friend Silverhorn might be in danger, so we're probably going to have to wrap it up at some point."
He's a big horsey. He has to know how to take care of himself. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Nothing is going to happen. Trust me, we can play as long as you want to. After all, you want to win, don't you?
Well, I'm more interested. I'm more interested in making sure that your friend Silverhorn is okay.
And as you push through one of the bushes, there is a mushroom there that has your face, sort of. It's like really sort of expanded and cartoonish. And as you open it up, it just goes, "Hey."
Hi.
Nice day.
Sure is. You wouldn't happen to know where the mushroom father is, would you?
Meh. Never found him. You're a looker, you are. And it gives you a big mushroomy wink.
Thanks. You're not bad yourself.
Oh, that's right. As it sort of looks away a little bit, chin up, trying to give sort of handsome profile. All right, don't leave a door open.
I close the bush up again.
And you can sort of see through the twigs and branches, but it's just a plain mushroom whenever the bushes are closed. You don't see any features on it once all the twigs are in the way.
All right.
Alrighty. Anyone else got something to do as they try to find him?
I'm doing the exact same thing I was earlier. I'm doing the slow and methodical looking for mushrooms.
Warmer, colder, hotter, damper. Left more. It's all coming at random. He's sometimes saying it while you're standing still. Little bit to the left, little bit to the right. Forward, forward, no, turn around.
I randomly jump as I'm walking, and then I just shake myself out and I go back to searching.
Next time, do a flip.
I don't think I'm going to do a flip.
Dudley and Crisari.
I'm going to use Mage Hand and break the circle.
Give me a strength check, but it's -4.
They're really that heavy?
No. In case you hadn't noticed, there's odd things happening right now.
Hmm. Six.
It manages to pull the stone a little bit, but then you watch as the rest of the stones come along with it. As they just move seamlessly through the ground. It's just like you've grabbed hold of the circle itself and just pulled. As the party wonder, how are they ever going to get out of this one? Do you do anything else while you're pulling it? Do you lift it up or anything?
Sure.
Yeah. The stones are still in a ring. There's no ground on them, but they hang there in a ring.
Can I turn it?
You turn it, and you can see the forest, but in autumn. It is just full of color.
Am I the only one who sees this?
If anyone's looking in the direction, they can see it too.
So, when I'm looking through the circle, it shows autumn.
When you had it originally, you could just see through it. There was nothing there. It's just a gap. When you turned it around, you could see it in autumn, yeah.
Can I turn it to see winter?
As you turn it again, you see a satyr shaving. He's standing there with an old little bone knife just sort of grazing it along his cheeks. He's looking right at you, but you get the feeling he's not actually looking at you. Ta-dee-da-dum, da-da-dee-dee-dee.
Okay, so it's reflecting a surface somewhere else in the forest.
Did you give it another turn?
Yes.
It's you.
Oh, it's a seeing portal.
But when you say this, the other one doesn't say that. They're just looking inquisitively, tilting the head and all at it. And then they walk away. You just see them let go of a ring and just walk.
Well, that's certainly the future. I turn it again.
You see a stag clashing antlers with another one. Except the other stag is about 4 times its size. But the small one is winning. It's very weird as you just see it sort of like get its head tilted and sort of brushed back. You go to turn it again?
Am I holding the ring sideways?
I was thinking you were holding it like sort of up in front of you like a mirror kind of thing.
Oh, I was talking like I was spinning it.
Yeah. I was thinking you're just rotating it on that axis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I rotate it vertically so it's up and down?
Sure, as you start to turn it though. Oh, wait. I want to see how this one ends. It's
Well, I don't know.
It's amazing how the small and the big don't really seem to matter much when it comes to determination. Although I'm sure the female is very happy the small one wins. Oh, okay. We know how it's going to play out. Go ahead.
I give a small motion for Dudley to come over.
Well, did you just get the idea to invite the small male?
No, I got the idea that if he can see it, he should be around this area. And
You
after
give-
that, with the stone circle held vertically, I drop it.
You just drop it?
Yeah.
Okay. It falls and sort of, a bit like sort of a cloth spreading itself, it just settles on the ground back into the circle again.
Well, what's the thought of destroying that?
And you have to say that aloud. You've got no internal thoughts right now.
Well, it was a thought of trying to break up that circle.
Oh, that's no good. I invited you to a game. You don't have to destroy anything or break my own or break my stuff.
Well, we're trying to find you after all.
Yes. You're not going to. I'm very good at what I do.
Well, I think he's around here somewhere, Dudley. He could see through the portal after all.
Question is when? Is he already seen this? Could be anywhere.
Well, from where I'm standing, I'm pretty sure he can't see it through those trees.
I'm gonna have a look around and see if I can see anything.
Just another casual glance about.
Yeah, basically.
You get to experience the
Anything
same
out of-
thing Victini was. You're hearing hotter, colder, a little bit to the left, colder, colder. Oh, you just missed me.
I'm not moving.
Yeah, you aren't, but he's still saying all this.
Dear.
It's really fucking pickling their heads right now, isn't it? This is not a case of any information getting withheld, either. Just have a think.
I go back to join the others and just go, okay, have any ideas here? By the others, I probably mean Krasari.
By the others, you mean one.
It's all the way over here, so.
Krasari, do you have any opinion on Dudley and Victini? Because you're now
Well-
saying it out loud.
Oh no.
Well, I can't say I know much about Victini or Visctini? Visctina? the human. But they seem confident. A little violent. I mean, really, you need to be
I'm
exploded.
not violent.
You exploded that man.
To be fair, that's kind of what you do in that situation.
But so violently? As for Dudley, I do hope he does find his string, but I am a little sad that he didn't go and start to write the book I asked. So now I'm going to have to.
Are you all right?
Just a bit bored, mostly. And I tend to think better when I'm speaking aloud to myself.
You can see in her eyes there's like a little bit of sort of dancing light behind it.
You're looking off.
Hmm.
Well, you guys having any better luck? I'm not.
I do another little jump and then shake my head. No, 0 luck. Anybody learn anything?
Are you
Particularly.
giving up?
Not yet.
Do you admit that
Well,
I'm better?
We really can't waste much time. We do have to go and help Silverhorn.
Oh, time's not an issue.
Why
For
do say
you,
that?
but for Silverhorn, it very well might be. There are hunters after him.
Not right now, we're not.
Did you
it's
pause
just us.
time?
Maybe.
That's what I thought.
Give up?
Not yet.
You can just say I'm very good at hiding.
You are very good at hiding.
And you can't possibly find me.
Most certainly not.
Do you all agree?
Please.
Yes.
Very well, I agree.
Oh, excellent! And in a poof of smoke and spores, he's sitting on top of Victina's shoulder. Just wonderful. Just wonderful. I'm still the best. But, since you admitted defeat, I will still give you a reward I promised. Now you get a choice
Thank you
here.
very much.
You can have an axe that can make trees taller, or a staff that only breaks and does not bend.
Does the staff itself break and not bend?
He gives a little sort of a smile. He just sits there. No, that's all you get to know. It's the mystery and surprise that makes it fun.
I look to the others. Any preference?
Mm, I don't have a preference. I could see the staff going one of two ways. And the axe could actually be very useful.
It's useful to a different party, sadly. It's a simple weapon, though, so fuck it. I mean, it wasn't going to be, but then everyone showed up as a nerd. Like, does anyone have a plus to their strength right now? I don't think so.
I have a minus.
Dudley has a
I have
minus.
I have a very big minus.
Otta!
I have +1 to strength. 12 strength.
I mean,
The strong men of the party.
it's not just for yourselves, though. You can always bequeath these items to the Boarside treasury.
Mm-hmm.
They're still waiting for the Peril so they can actually identify that ring you guys found.
I'm curious about the staff. If it means that it breaks people's bones, or if it just somehow breaks without bending, just falls apart. Just gnome curiosity. Like, I already know what the axe does. That's no longer interesting.
You think? What kind of axe makes trees taller?
Fuck if I know.
That's part of the fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be an option of free, but luckily not. Otherwise, this would take even longer. I was still hashing out the last one. A lance with little length that reaches far.
I vote for the axe.
That's
One.
one vote for the axe, one vote for the staff.
Oh, also, sorry, dearie. He snaps his fingers. Sorry, you now have an eternal monologue again.
Internal or eternal?
Eternal, and it's in his voice. No, it's you've got you're no longer under the effect.
Ah. Ooh.
But yeah, what's the rest of the party's vote? Axe.
Still have to work.
Staff.
Yeah, it's a custom spell I still have to work on. Basically, you were under the effect of blabber. You just couldn't hold back your words.
I'd vote for staff.
Dudley, it's either a deciding vote or
Yeah, I have a feeling staff is more useful to it.
all right then. Staff it is then, unless there's someone who really wants to augment the axe otherwise.
Well, I like the axe. I think it's a fun weapon.
I'm alright with either. It was a preference.
No, he's chipping in on this.
Yeah. I think we'll take the staff.
All right, then, and I'll throw in a bonus for each of you. So, moment, claps his fingers, and he's gone. But you now have a staff balancing on your shoulder, Victina.
I grab it.
It looks to be made of very old, very sort of pale wood. But, you know, sort of a healthy pale. Like, it's a tree that has stood for a long time. It has no markings on it, on the length of it, but on the tips, you can see very tiny is some strange little sylvan marks, if anyone speaks that.
I do.
Yeah. As you look at it, it seems to be repeating the same slogan of "This breaks, it does not bend." It is for the purposes. I mean, it does have a bit of attunement, but we'll skip that for now. It's a +1 quarterstaff. So that at least gets past the fact no one's got strength.
What was it again?
A +1 quarterstaff.
Hmm.
And as you're eyeing it and sort of holding it out a bit, items appear on the tip of it that bounce for a moment before just falling down. Luckily, none of it breaks. There is, on a little small tub, scrawled for Otta, mustache wax. For Dudley, there is one shoe of his size.
Excellent.
For Kasari, there is a floppy sleeping hat with puffball at the end.
What's it made of?
It looks like it's made of nice wool.
And for the Viceroy?
So what are you guys doing next?
Okay.
No, nothing else appears.
Well, I take it that means that I get the stuff then.
Yes, so. Well, I guess we're gonna go the direction that the dragon was talking about.
If Dudley shares that information.
Yeah, I would have shared that.
Yes, and we'll do this next time. I figure it's a nice confusing moment to leave you guys off with. Next time, helping a unicorn, and possibly more things to do.
Helping a unicorn.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it is a very useful horn. Just think, Otta, you could probably sleep again if you grab that horn.
Yeah.
But maybe he won't let you touch it. But yeah, we're going to end the session now just because we're at 3 hours, and, you know, that's a sort of good time. We don't really want to drag it out for another hour, do we? It's a bit late for all of
No.
us.
Yeah, I've got a headache.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be at Raxus next week, I think, because I think Braider's available again. So we'll get back to that. And we'll get back to this at some point soon. Maybe some random night, because there have been nights now when you guys have just been available for about 3 hours.
Yep.
But yes, that's it from Boarside for now.